Hi, I'm Min from PonderEd, and this video I'm making is because I'm getting a lot of questions from my students and even from uh, people around me. And my students are saying that, oh, my parents are lined up with AstraZeneca vaccine. Is it safe? Should they get it, or should they avoid it, or something like that? And I'm getting a lot of these questions. Because of that, I decided to make this video. Okay. Now, there are a lot of the questions about vaccination, and there are even conspiracy theories about vaccination as well, right? As we can see that from some of the news that some people say vaccine they put some chips in there and then they will control people. Well, the computer itself is like a size is like this big, and then little chip to controlling the human. That doesn't really make sense, right? There's one more th conspiracy theory about saying that, well, vaccination will alter your gene, and then it'll change your body. What ha, have you ever heard about the story about the HIV? You know, HIV virus is the one that getting into the human chromosome and then alter the genes. They hide in there. This is why that it is very difficult to remove. So viruses, some of the viruses have characteristic to integrate into the human genome so that they can alter the gene. But from my knowledge, the coronavirus is not, COVID-19 is not integrating into the human genome. And another the so think about and then the vaccines one type of vaccine is made of RNA. And another one is with the DNA. And this DNA, as far as I know, it is made of adenovirus, which is the known to be the in the wild form known to be not capable of integrating into the human genome. Of course, there's some mutations, and then because of that, they could integrate the human genome. But for the wild form, as far as I know, they don't. And now, if the for the pharmaceutical companies, because if that goes in, DNA goes into the integrating in the human genome, that could cause some of the issues. If so, when what they do is when they are designing these the uh, the the vectors, they probably what they do is they probably strip out some any type of like a possible area where they can integrate into the human. So chances for this DNA altering the human chromosome will be very, very low. Then, which one is a higher chance to have altering the gene? Viruses. So if you're getting viruses, then that's the one that could change your human chromosome because they some of them could integrate into the human chromosome and then stay there. So this type of conspiracy theory happens because the people lack of the concepts of the viruses and vaccination and how it works. And they just make with this story they just make some benefit out of themselves. But from my viewpoints, there's reason that why this conspiracy theory grows. Okay, the reason is simple this. If this type of conspiracy theory happens because of the unclear delivery of the information. For example, like the currently when AstraZeneca vaccine is happen to causing some the blood clotting, and that the of course that the other vaccines could cause blood clotting as well, and blood clotting could happen in the here as well, but and then it happens without even vaccination, right? But AstraZeneca seems to be a little bit higher compared to others. That means the blood clotting might be closely related to the vaccination of AstraZeneca. But what the decision makers have been saying, they said, okay, AstraZeneca, it might not connected with this blood clotting. There's no direct connections. Yes, but still, comparing with other vaccination, they are higher. That means that there's a higher chance of connection with blood clotting with the vaccination. But they try to remove that to make the people get the vaccines more and more. Because of that, now conspiracy theory is growing. And this is all the conspiracy theory is happening because of lack of people's the concepts that people have on that. At the same time, the people who are making decisions, they're kind of like try to have their policies and then on hand and then try to move people into that direction. Because of that, the conspiracy theory grows. But anyway, so now the big question is then should we get the AstraZeneca vaccine or not? Okay, that's the question that I'm getting a lot, and that's the what I'm going to talk about. The first of all, I wouldn't be able to really say that you should get the vaccination because, well, there's a reason, right? So there's the COVID-19, the probability of being dead by COVID-19 is a lot higher than vaccination. I mean, the blood clotting from the vaccination, right? So, and then blood clotting could be treated. So basically, that it is more beneficial for to get the vaccine is to protect from the COVID-19. But still, it is unknown, and it is dark area. Nothing is confirmed. So still, you have chance to develop blood clotting. And there's even a case of death. So now people are worried about it and people are nervous about it and then reluctant of the making decision that to get the vaccination. And think about it. Why? Well, as I said, I cannot really say that you should or shouldn't, but the reason is simple because that as we saw from WHO about a year ago, they said when the COVID-19 first came, they said, oh, you don't have to wear masks. And that decision probably made by these experts and then analyzing all the situation. But for now, take a look at what happens. Right? Basically, they lied. If I said that here you should get the vaccines, and then if you happen to develop the COVID, I mean the immune, I mean the blood clotting, then probably you come back and then hey, you liar. And because of you, I got the vaccine and then I developed the blood clotting. So I wouldn't be able to really say that you should or not. But this is what I say. If I need to get the vaccines, then this right now the vaccine is over 55 and up, right? And then the reason is because that the when they analyze that the younger people the develop the blood clotting, and then some analysis shows that woman compared to the man has a higher chance to get these blood clotting developed. Now, because of that, so, some scientists, experts suspect that because the younger woman uses a birth control pill, because of that, the it might be related to the birth control. And these are the stories right now developing in this AstraZeneca vaccines. But still, there's no direct connection either. If it is directly connected with any medical conditions, for example, I'm having high blood pressure, so I'm taking medication. If I had this vaccine and if I died, then it is easier to make connections because I'm known to have the medical condition, which is blood pressure and medication is in there. Then it is simple, excluding these people from their groups, then it'll be safe. But right now, it is not known at all, right? And ironically, many people, well, you probably hear about this. Many people say future is not known. and you should be able to change the future, and then you should be able to you should live your life, and then you should alter your future can be altered as you live. But take a look at here, what happens. You try to make a decision based on this information, but you worry, you the nervous, and then you are making decision just like a gambling because you think of you're thinking that should I get it or not? And sometimes you are brave enough and saying that, oh, I will get it because I'll be okay. I should be okay. It shouldn't have. I shouldn't have. I wouldn't have any blood clotting, and chances is very low. But still, this is gambling, right? Because your decision making is just simply based on the get it or not, right? So when people ask me that what should I do? What should I get it or not? My the response to them is simply like this. Okay, I cannot tell you you should get it or not, but if I'm on the I'm qualified for this AstraZeneca, which is 55 and up. I'm still younger, so I'm not in the category. If I'm over 55 and I have a chance to given I have a given chance, the chances are given to me, then I will get the vaccines because still it is I have higher chances to protect from COVID-19, which is have higher chance to kill the people. So it is better to protecting from COVID-19 rather than the thinking about this the blood clotting. But I'm not gonna simply just get the vaccines. Here's the reason, okay? So this is my reason. Blood clotting happens inside of the blood vessel, right? So if the blood vessel blood clotting happens, then the best way to slow down so that I have time to go to the hospital and get the treatment, then what happens is that if, let's say, if I have sugar level and fat level is high, so my blood is higher in sugar and fat level, then what will happen is, as you know, that the sugar is kind of sticky, right? Then blood flow will be slowed down. So I'll reduce the chances of getting blood flow slowing down. And then, as we can see that if anything that the water, if they slow down, then sedimentation happens faster. So to prevent any of these things to grow bigger and bigger, whatever reasons, if I develop blood clotting, to reduce the chances for this blood clotting grow and bigger, I wanted to make this blood flow smoother. To do that, I'll probably reduce some sugar from the diet, not completely, that will cause another problem, right? Sugar level and fat level a little bit reducing from everyday life. And second, that I'm taking medication, and medication, if it is connected with medication, then it's probably known by now. The reason probably known by now. If it is not connected with this, meaning that anything that the people lifestyle, so lifestyle meaning that the eating pattern is in there, and stress, of course, is in there. So stressful life and the eatings, everything is affected in the blood flow. So now what I will do is medication that I will keep taking it, but any unknown supplements I would stop because it is not really known how it is. I cannot confirm unless it is confirmed, right? I cannot confirm that if they are how they are related with blood clotting. Now after that, I also monitor my food ingredient in my food. The reason that is because my son is a hemophilia. Many years ago, my wife and I were looking for some food that is actually promoting the blood clotting and preventing the blood clotting because we wanted to protect him a little bit more from bleeding. So try to reduce this blood bleeding episode. Now, and then what we found out is there was some food, the ingredient that actually promotes the blood clotting, And then there's some ingredients that actually prevent blood clotting. For example, some the garlic is the one contains that preventing the blood clotting. But the when we talk to the doctors and then when we research the amount of that factor is very very low. Because of that it doesn't affect, so we are not restricting any diet that much. But at least in this case I would reduce something that is known to increase the blood clotting in there, right? So this is what I'll do. That's what I said to the people. I will get the vaccine for 100%, and then what I'll do, I'll monitor all my, especially like Chinese herbal medications or something like that, which are a combination of all different types of extracts. Then I would definitely not stop taking it. How long? Probably it is known to have like a immune system development. It takes about 2 weeks for RNA vaccines. That means this, if it is a DNA, I'm getting DNA vaccines, then I will probably monitor because DNA had to convert to RNA, and it might take a little bit longer time. I don't know exactly how the timeline same or not, but I would monitor about 4 weeks, which is about a month, that avoiding all these the food, and then try to reduce it, right? And then not starting with any new type of medication or anything until then. Well, unless it is prescribed ones. So that's what I'll do. But since I'm on the education, business of education field, so this is what I wanted to make a comment in the make a last point, that think about it. People kind of panic and nervous and worry and then make a decision and then really worry about making decisions. The reason is because that nothing is known. Unknown is really something that people worry about. And still, some people say, future is not determined. It is yours. It is easy to say, but living uncertainty is very challenging, difficult, and of course, it is really like a gambling like life. So if you wanted to live a life and really uncertainty, and then you make your future different from, you live your future from the unknown future with your own life, you should get education. You should be training yourself to live in an uncertainty. And the only the way to do is the education that I provide from PonderEd. Okay, so if you wanted to know something more about the education for PonderEd, you can visit www.pondered.ca. I made it this ED as the uppercase, but it could be all lowercase, and then you can visit there, and then you will find a lot of education, the methodology, the study methods that you can develop your logics and everything.